Seconds. Well, praise the Lord, hallelujah, and thank you, Jesus. It's around that time right here on KAZ Radio where I have one of my most favorite shows, none other than Stella Girl Radio with Stella Lewis. Take it away, Stella.
Hello, 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 Stella Starlights. I am so excited to be with you guys tonight because you could have been someplace else, but you decided to come in here and listen to us tonight. Please, if you have any comments, say where you're watching and viewing from, and please ask questions because we always like to put it on the table. So tonight I have a very good friend of mine, and it's really not a topic, it's more about her. So tonight, this lady right here, let me tell you, she's near and dear to my heart. And she's a mom. She's a nurse with the Metro Health System, and she's also an entrepreneur. When I tell you this girl got her hustle on, she got her hustle on. She ain't no joke. I love her, love her, love her. This fab lady is so amazing. Let me tell you how we met. I used to do an event every year called Women's Entrepreneur Day, and I did it at my home. And I would just take flyers out and put them out. I put it on social media. The vendors would come and they would do whatever, they would bring their stuff. I would feed them breakfast and lunch. We would have raffles and all of that. And so one day, I do believe it was her cousin or a good girlfriend. I was in at that time, it was Tops, y'all. That's how long ago that was. Tops grocery store. And was handing out flyers. And she was like, I'm gonna tell you, we gonna come. The name of the thing is Curveball. I was like, okay, cool beans. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, they came, and I mean, it was so wonderful for them to come out with the rest of the ladies. At that time, I think it was maybe the third or fourth event, and because I did it annually in the beginning of the summer. And we've been together ever since. It's like every year when I do something or she does, we really support each other. And I just love her so very much. And it's like her her savvy, her business sense, her hustle, her grind, her spirit is just so awesome. And her heart is she just does it for me. So I want to introduce to you tonight, Stella Starlights. Introducing to you tonight is Natika Polk, my girl, my sister, my girl, Miss Tika Polk. Hey, girl.
Miss Stella, how are you? Thank you for that wonderful introduction. You know,
Oh,
it's like odd to me when I hear people introduce me like that still. So I thank you for that. Thank you. And I am very, very overwhelmed and thankful that you invited me to come on tonight and talk, and I'm ready to jump in.
yeah, girlfriend. So being a nurse, I'm quite sure you get questions all the time regarding your COVID and your COVID journey. How all of this has affected you since all of this began. How has it been? And I know you've been real close with with COVID being around and stuff with you. So what was that like?
So thinking back to when COVID first came to be, I remember being at work, and in the morning we have these things called huddle, where we meet in the morning and kind of talk about what's going to go on for the day. And we had been hearing about huddle, and this particular day, I think back in March, right before everything began to shut down, I remember one of the doctors that I work with saying, COVID is not here yet, but it's coming, you know. And no one knew anything about well, I didn't know anything about COVID. Let me say that. So, in the back of your head, you're thinking like COVID coming. What the heck exactly does that mean? You don't know
Right.
until it hit. And boy, did it hit. It was in my 20 plus years of working at Metro Health and my 12 years of being a nurse, I have never seen where it came to be where we shut our doors. You know, things change. The process of how we process patients, the way that we handled everything completely changed, and you know, it was just, it's still mind-boggling to think a year and a half later, almost 2 years, we're still dealing with this, and it's just, it's something.
Yeah.
It's something, you know. But we're making progress, slow progress, but progress. And it's just, you know, COVID is, I never thought I would live through a pandemic.
Right.
Never thought that, you know, never came across my mind at all. And it just changes the way that you deal with patients. You know, before COVID, the way you know you talk to patients, and with me being working in at one place for so long, patients have became like family. You know, you,
Yeah.
so it came where you were scared to hug your patient, and it's just, it's really something else. It is.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna be real honest. I worried about you. I did. I was like, "Hey, my sister's out there on the line," you know, and I knew that you really worked hard. You did a lot. You did a lot, and you even did a tour, right, over in California
I
for
did. I
yeah.
I did. That was an experience, but you know, by the time that came about, you know, that was on the vaccine end, dealing with like the front line of it, and I work in outpatient, so I won't, you know, I haven't like some of my fellow nurses seen, you know, on the front line as far as taking care of inpatient COVID patients, and watching, unfortunately, people take their last breath without family and friends and having to do it on Zoom. I cannot imagine how that felt um as a nurse. I'm sure it was hard. I mean, you know, it's hard on the family, but when you're a healthcare worker, it's hard on you too, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm a frontline worker, but I kind of like think of myself just a little bit different because I wasn't inpatient. Not meaning that we didn't come across COVID patients, because we did, you know, um, but more so in a way where we were doing the testing on them, and or maybe not even knowing that they had COVID because they came to the doctor, and not having the symptoms present, you know, at that particular appointment, but then finding out a few days later. And we lost patients as well in the outpatient setting to COVID, you know, shockingly. And it, you know, it's hard when to, it's just, it's something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, like you said, we're moving along, and people are trying to see what they want to see, and they fighting over whatever they need to fight over about what they're gonna do, not gonna do. But at the end of the day, I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you're still on the line.
Thank you,
And
thank
I always call you. I'm gonna call your girlfriend. Listen, this is what I feel like. I know you're not a doctor, but I know you'll tell me what to do.
you.
So you'd be like, sister, get to the ER. I got you. I got you. So
Absolutely.
the other thing with how we met and the things that we did when we met, um, you gave me really a great insight on a sister owning her own boutique. You know, really, you know, I the shop where y'all was at, the lady that had it before you, me and her became very close.
Okay.
And then when you went up there and you took over that spot, but I was never able to get up there to come and see you. But
Mhm.
I would always either see you online or whatever. So tell us about this wonderful, wonderful boutique called the Curve Vault.
So the Curve Vault evolved from Curvy Trio Boutique. That's how I first started out. You know, I started out, I had partners at the time. So the curve vault evolved from that. 2018 birthed the curve vault. Um, I honestly can say when I was almost discouraged and did not start the curve vault, just from just a couple experiences dealing with being in the brick and mortar. But I remember I was talking to a very good friend of mine, my bestie, my male bestie, and he's always encouraging me, always pushing me, and he said, you didn't come this far to quit. So I said, okay, I kind of sniffed it up a little bit. I felt like a failure a little bit, but I said, you know what? Okay, I'm always the type of person, I'll try it. Some things I'll try, but I said, you know what? Why not? All I could do is it not go anywhere. So May 2018 birthed the curve vault. I was sitting here thinking, I started off, I don't believe I had a website yet. So really I was only selling to a few customers who had supported me from when I was in the actual boutique, and my family and friends, and that's how I was surviving. And it was slow. um I won't complain, because where I'm at now is where I prayed to be back then. So
Mhm.
it was a
It's
journey.
a process. It's a process.
um I started out doing pop-ups. Actually, my first pop-up of 2018 was my girlfriend Desiree. She called me up and told me she had a friend that owned a hair salon, and she was doing a pop-up, and she was like, you should go. I said, okay, fine. So I loaded up all my stuff in my Kia truck, and I picked up my cousin Teresa. She's another big cheerleader of mine, and we went to the pop-up. And
You
I've been popping up ever since.
sure have, girlfriend. You be everywhere. Everywhere.
Up ever since. And I wouldn't change anything. I love. I'm sometimes I shock myself that I love what I do. I love meeting new ladies. I find that with selling plus size women clothes, that you have to, well, not even just plus size, I'll say ladies and women in general, selling clothes. It's sometimes I find myself speaking into ladies, and when I speak into ladies, it encourages myself as well, because I have so many clients that say, well, I'm not as confident as you. Well, honey, listen, it took me 47 years and every day of my life continuously to encourage myself, to build up, the self-esteem. I have, I don't think there's a person alive that don't have a maybe not a low self-esteem moment, but a moment where you kind of, put yourself
Bad
down.
about yourself.
Yeah. But speaking into my ladies, I call them curved dials. Speaking to my curved dials helps lift me up too on the days when I don't feel like just doing anything, or just being pretty or being cute, or putting, so I it's I love the curve vault. I love my curved dials. I do.
Listen, I love your TikTok stuff. I love your IG stuff. Cause girl, I need a class. I need a class.
Let me tell you.
Because that my shaperment, when I try to do what you do, it don't come out that way. But still, it's like,
I'm gonna come help you. I don't have a problem helping you.
listen, I mean, when I see you take those clothes and you be walking and your little hair be bouncing, and I'll be like, look at her. I was like, oh my gosh, the clothes are just so amazing. And like you said, you are making the clothes. The clothes showing the heck ain't making you, sister. Because you just like tonight, you got that hat on, girl. You working it. You working it. I love it.
A spur of the moment, bad hair day, but I love a good hat. I love a good hat. So it don't take much for me. I've been and got my hair done and put a hat on. So it wasn't hard. But, those TikToks and those Instagrams, it's a lot of work. Social media, oh my goodness, social media is a lot of work. Before the curve vault, I had social media, and I didn't have a big presence on social media. I was more like a scroller, like keep going, scroller, like, keep going. Hey, my friend, did you see this picture? Did you see that girl? Did you see this? Working a business on social media is so ghetto. No, it is hard work. It's
Yeah.
like having a job. It is a job trying to get the video right, trying to get the timing right. What coming up with content. What wording should I say? This is, oh my goodness. Let me tell you.
Now is your chance if you want to interview somebody or you want to say you need somebody to say it, girl, say it.
You know
Maybe
what?
somebody's out there is listening and they'll be your assistant.
Let me tell you, I last year this time, there was a lady that reached out to me on social media about hiring her to help me with my social media and emailing to my subscribers. And I can be very transparent and say financially, I was not. I was just, when I say I was just holding on, I was just
Oh no.
even with my nursing job and funneling money from my paycheck to hold up the business. I was just barely holding on, and I couldn't afford her. I couldn't even. I couldn't. I probably. Well, I could have. I mean, I couldn't afford her. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It just wasn't in my budget. And fast forward this year, the curveball has 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 withstood the pandemic. Okay, I'm doing okay, and I was able to reach back out to her, hire her last month to assist me with my social media, and she has been a godsend. Do you hear me? She has not only has she worked for me, she's also passed on knowledge to me that I can take, along when I decide to take back over my social media and do it on my own. So the saying, God sent people into your life for a reason.
You already know.
I was scared. I thought she was a scam. I really did. And fast forward a year, I took a chance. And she is wonderful. But getting back to stuff, so, a lot of long sleepless nights. Oh, a lot of long sleepless nights. I think this week alone, I've probably gotten into bed every night at 2 a.m. because
Wow.
I work my full-time job. I come home. You got to sit down and relax a little bit, and I become a workaholic. I become I live and breathe my business. So it's always I could do this, I could do that, and it seemed like my mind about 9 o'clock at night, the smoke start in my brain, and I look up and it's I'm like, oh crap, it's 1 o'clock. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more things. 2 o'clock. Okay, now you got to go to sleep, honey. When I tell you, I wake up and I be so tired. I mean,
But
so
you know it's gonna come out all right though. You know
yes,
it's gonna come out all right.
yes.
So the other thing that I myself am very excited and cannot wait to see it. The Curve Vault Mobile Boutique. Talk about it, sister. Talk about it.
So I I can't hold water, right? I really can't when I'm excited about something. I was trying to not tell anybody, but we got to talking the other day, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, sometimes I find if I speak about something, I speak it into existence. So I talk about it, and I had maybe about 6 months ago. I mean, the thought had been, coming in my head about doing a mobile boutique. At first, I kept saying, you know what? Like a couple of my friends, like, you're growing. You're gonna have to go back into a store. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then I thought about it. I love doing pop-ups. So why not do a mobile boutique so I could just pull up, pop open the doors, and people just come on in,
Pull up,
pull
sister.
up, yeah, pull up. So, I getting back to my social media manager, I tossed the idea out to her, and she sent me a link with mobile trucks. So I said, okay. So I started looking and everything. I'm looking, and I found my truck. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm so
Um, I haven't completely started the whole process of purchasing the truck, but you know, I will say I will be driving that truck next year.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
gonna be, the whole thing is because I like doing pop-ups, it'll be mobile, it'll have a dressing room, it'll have shelving for clothing, we're gonna have a nice sound system, so it's gonna feel like a party when I come,
Okay.
come shop at
I
the
can't wait till them summer pop-ups come, girl, because I already know I'm pulling up on you. I don't care where you at. I'm gonna pull up on you.
That's my plan for 2022 with the curveball is to go mobile. I really feel like I'm mobile now because I'm always, even if I don't have a truck full of clothes, I got something in my car. So I always keep something on me, and it's so funny because I think back to one time my daughter had a hair appointment and I went to go pick her up from the hair salon, and I walked in and I'm sitting there waiting on her, and the young lady, was like, "Hey, I know you. You used to have a boutique down the street." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, I'm not in the boutique anymore. I'm just doing pop-ups, and I welcome a lot of my family and friends to come shop with me at home. So she said, "Well, me and my mom getting ready to go out of town. What you got on you?" I had a whole suitcase in the truck.
Yeah, I know that suitcase.
If you know me and you know the
That
curve.
suitcase will get you in trouble.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's right. So I went out to my truck. I grabbed the suitcase. I brought it in. Made $350.
Real quick.
Listen, I said, you know what? I might be on to something.
Yeah.
I might be on. I remember when I said to myself that I needed a truck because I had a car, and I said I need a truck because I'm getting ready to do pop-ups, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to put this stuff in my car. And one day I was at work, literally, and I went to lunch, and I'm sitting in my car, and I hear a commercial for Kia. Come in, you drive today. I literally got off work, truck, and I've been going, and the curveball and the Kia have been going ever since.
All right. All right. So what are some of the other things that you are getting ready to get into? Do you do any community things or affiliated with any of the other community stuff or
I haven't gotten, well, let's see. As far as community, I haven't yet, but I will say that for the, last year, the Curveball quietly fed 2 families for Thanksgiving. I
Mhm.
literally put up a post on Facebook and Instagram and said, "Do you know any family that's in need of Thanksgiving dinner?" I am paying for Thanksgiving dinner, and my inbox was flooded, and
Oh,
it was hard to choose, but one family in particular that I recalled feeding, it was a grandmother, and she had 3 or 4 grandchildren that were staying with her, and her son and his wife were both very sick. If I recall, I don't know if maybe they were in the hospital or one was on their way home, but the curveball fed the family. Full Thanksgiving.
all right. All right.
No,
Community service. That's what's up. That's what's up.
no
Well, the
cameras.
other thing I'd like to say is that our relationship is very very dear to me. I love the fact that we have walked several paths together, and now we have ventured into another sisterhood, and I'm so happy that we are walking in the light with the Order of Eastern Star, and I just applaud you. I just think that you are an amazing woman. You're so transparent. Oh my God, your heart is just so big and so full, and the things that you do, it's like me and you is like yin and yang. I mean, we are so much like, girl, come on, let's go. Look what we're gonna do. Now, the other thing is that, we talked about guys and all this other stuff and in the past, and girl, listen, I was thinking about this the other day. And I don't know, whether or not y'all know the show is about relationships as well. And our relationship is very tight. But the thing that I try to figure out is how are we gonna go forward in business and be at peace? Because it seems like sometimes when we bring other folk into the mix, and I think we need to have a part 2 for that. What you think?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
my goodness. Yes.
Yes,
because
yeah, let's have a part 2 for that one, because then we'll get started on that, and we'll be here all night. But I just
can have a story to tell too.
listen, you and me both. So the next thing I want to talk about is our announcements. But first and foremost, I want to thank you so very much for coming on the show tonight and to tell our story of Miss Natika Polk and Curvault and your nursing career. I really appreciate that so very much. And we're going to get into some deep stuff on our part 2. The announcements that I have is that we are still going to the winery on November 27th. Later down the road, we got a couple of cabarets that are coming up, but they have not been confirmed yet, but just get ready. We also have our girl on a roll, Asia Watson Cox. Listen, if you ain't tried her, you better try. She's here in Cleveland area. You call, she delivers. She has a delivery team. So it's not like you doing, what's that other thing that the other delivery service food stuff? It ain't that.
Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She has her own team that delivers.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does. And then, we also has the neighbor. She has the Major Care Ministries, and she is getting ready to have this amazing cultural arts program that's coming up real soon. And also by next summer, she's going to have an apprentice program. It's a 4-year program that in order for you to get your journeyman's license. That's going to be freaking amazing. I can't wait till she really gets in and starts explaining that and it comes to light. And I'm just excited about that. And I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Because everything else has passed already. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But I want to thank you so very much for coming out tonight, Miss Natika. And everybody out there, Stella Starlights, always remember, my eyes are to see you, my ears are to hear you, my shoulders are for you to lean, my arms are to hold you, but my heart is always to love you. Love one another, y'all. Good night, Stella Starlights. Good night.
Good night.